What is going on, you guys? Riley on Gemmy Inflatable Fans 98, and I got a cool review for you guys today. This is the Gemmy 2017 7.5 foot wide Lightning McQueen inflatable. This particular one was sold at, well, there's two versions of this, one with a cheap fan and one with a base fan. I think the cheap fan one was just 6 foot long or 6 foot wide, but obviously you can tell the base fan by the box there says 7.5 feet wide. Now, I know that the cheap fan one was sold in stores. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but my Home Depot in particular does not get as many inflatables in as others do. Unfortunately, they really don't get very many in. So, like I said, I know that the cheap fan one was sold in stores because there is at least two. There's two more Home Depots besides mine around me that I go to, and one of them is basically the same as my Home Depot. They really don't get much in, and then the other one they get a little bit more in, and they did have the cheap fan model of this one, but obviously I wanted the base fan one, and basically what I did is I ended up buying this online because, again, like I said, there was no stores around me that had it, and I wasn't really gonna drive all that way. If there was a store that had it, it was gonna drive like, a couple hours away to get it, when I could just order it online and get free shipping for it. So that's what I did. And I bought this earlier in the season. You guys saw it in my display, and this was out ever since I started doing the display. So I got it basically in the beginning of the season. But I really, really like this one. And another thing is they also came out with a mater this year too. For those of you that don't know, I mean, obviously you saw it on my display. I don't know if I mentioned it or not. But they remade the mater this year, and it was the same exact design from, like, I want to say 2013 when it first came out, if that was the year it came out. But I was glad they came out with, that one again, so I could have it kind of them together, the mater and the Lightning McQueen together. That was great. But another thing I do want to say is, like I said, I don't know if this was sold in stores. I'm sure it was, just definitely not in my area, at least. The other thing is, if you get an inflatable off of Home Depot and it gets shipped to you in a plain brown box, that's what my mater came in. It came in a plain brown box. If you get one with a plain brown box, then it is actually one that was not sold in stores at all. But if you get a retail box just like this one, then chances are it was sold in stores. So that's what I'm thinking. It was definitely sold in stores somewhere, but like I said, not in my area. But I really like this thing a lot. If any of you guys have seen the prototype version of this, it is the ugliest looking thing ever, and they definitely made it look more like Lightning McQueen. The prototype model just looked really dumb, and it looked nothing like Lightning McQueen, which is really funny. But anyway, like you can see right there, 2017 Gemmy. The box is beat up, first of all, because it was shipped in the retail box. They didn't like double box it or anything. I don't really care anyway. But also my garage kind of floods sometimes, and this box is in the garage, so you can kind of tell at the bottom here there's some water damage. But anyway, this is already enough of me talking. I'm going to pause the video here. We're going to take it out of the box, and then we'll inflate it, so I'll be right back. Alrighty guys, so it's all taken out of the box here, so let's plug it in and inflate it. Might have to turn this around. I might be backwards. This thing really is, I do have to say, this is kind of a disappointing one, just because it's a lot smaller than I expected it to be. And the retail on this was $114, I think, plus tax, obviously, so it comes out to like maybe like 116, 117. It's really a small design for how much you pay for it. And again, like I said, I'm going to have to turn this around anyway. It is still wet, too. Like, I had to, this is going to have to leave this inflated a little while after the review, because it's wet still. That might be what the box, the problem with the box. And excuse the mess down here. Everything is basically drying down here. Those ones just still have to be put away, but, all the ones that are on the ground here are all dry, or all dried off. I just got to put them away. But here it is, guys. Again, like I said, very small compared to, or very small for the price. But overall, I'm glad I got it. They did sell out, I think even before 50% off hit. I don't know for sure though. But The difference between this one and the cheap fan model, I don't know if I mentioned it already, is obviously you can tell the base fan one has the tree on top of it, and the cheap fan model actually had a Santa hat on instead of the tree, and obviously it had LED lights and everything. I just didn't like the look of it, and of course I'd rather, if they had come out with, you know, a separate base fan model of something like this, then obviously I'm going to go after the base fan model, and that's obviously what I did here. And because honestly, if I'm going to put this next to the Mater and stuff that does have the C7 bulbs like this, then, you know, and if I did get the cheap fan model, then that just really wouldn't look too good in my opinion. So yeah, here it is, guys. Really nice design. Like I said, it's still pretty wet actually, so I think I'm going to have to, again, leave it inflated the rest of the overnight at least. I mean, we had so much ice and stuff, that ice buildup on these things, it was ridiculous. And you know, I put this away thinking it was dry, but I guess it's not. There must have been ice inside of it or something. But anyway, very cool inflatable. I really like this thing a lot. And I definitely recommend this one if you guys can get it anywhere. Obviously, at this point, the only place you can probably get it is on eBay. I know, definitely, I feel like this is definitely going to be an uncommon one. I feel like definitely the cheap fan one's going to be more common than this one. So again, like I said, if you can pick one of these up and get it for a decent price on eBay, just remember the base fan model, if that's the one you want, is the one with the tree on top of it, and the cheap fan has the Santa hat. They also came out with another Cars one, which I think is the Cruz, C-R-U-Z. I'm not sure where that was sold. And I think that was only a cheap fan model. I did see it on somebody else's channel, and it was a cheap fan model of it. And if that's the case, then not really something I would want to get. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Riley on Gemmy Inflatable Fans 98. Like and subscribe.